Arne, can we start with the latest on the injury front, please? Isak, Frimpong, how are they? Gravenberch as well, is he ready to come back? And how far away is Alisson?
Jeremy is not in a good place. What I mean with that is that he's definitely not going to play today, tomorrow, or next week. Hamstring injury, so that's going to take a while. Alex, not too bad. Question mark for the weekend, and so let's see where he is then. And that's the same to be said about Ryan. He didn't travel with us. So today we are in again. Yeah, yesterday we were in as well, but we had a day to travel. Let's see where he is today. And Alisson is not in the squad tomorrow.
Do you know how long?
That's also going to take a little bit longer. Yeah.
Obviously, Alexander and Jeremy, the big minuses to have come out the other night, but perhaps one of the big positives was Florian Wirtz with a couple of assists, at least. Anyway, how big a moment do you feel that could be just in getting settled here at Liverpool and beginning to see the best levels from him?
Yeah, I find this always a bit funny because his second assist, we call that an assist. And the 1-1 we scored against United, that's not a goal involvement for him, where I felt that was more difficult to do, what he did against United, than what he did for the 5-1. But the assist to the 4-1 was good. But I think his general game was something I think the Liverpool fans liked. And we've seen more of that already. But as always, if you lose a game of football and you do the same things then when you win it, then the focus is on the negative things. And if you win a game of football with 5-1 because you scored 2 set pieces, then all of a sudden everybody is talking about the few good attacks we had during the game. And I've said many times against United and against Frankfurt, from open play we generated the same amount of chances. But the difference was that we didn't concede a set piece, but we scored 2 set pieces.
When you're trying to gel the side, though, when you've had the signings that you've had come in, how difficult is it to then settle on what you would say is your best starting lineup? And I suppose where does Mo figure in respect to that, given the way his season's gone so far?
It's not only about the new signings and that changes things. I think it's about having a lot of very good players. So what is your best lineup? I think a lot of things go into that. The team you face, the tactics the other team plays with, the form of the player, the connections between the players. I think if you look at all the big clubs in the world, they all have more than 11 players that can play a game. And for me, it has always been something I expected after the many changes we've had during the summer, that it could go also even after we won 7 games in a row. I always felt like, as a team you need to grow, and if you need to grow and if you have to adapt to each other, you can also have moments in the season where things are a bit more difficult, especially if the fixture list is as it was, because when we've lost 4, I said to myself 3 of them were away, and then I was looking at the schedule and I thought, another 2 away games coming with Frankfurt and Brentford on the fixture list. So these things also take into account that you can have a little bit of more difficult. But it's always normal if you have a lot of changes that things go well, but we have to find a way of growing together, and then when things click, we need to be the best team we can be.
Is it a difficult moment for Molo?
I think it's been a difficult moment for all of us. No one is used to losing. For all the players that played here for so many years, and even for the new players as well, because we started this season with 7 wins. So you start to lose once, that's a difficult moment for everyone, but let alone if you lose twice, 3 or 4 times.
Hello, you mentioned about negativity possibly externally, so how do you block it internally? How do you keep that focus on only the positive things rather than the potentially overwhelming negative things?
Yeah. I don't think I would use the words negativity, but what I mean with that is that there's more focus on, let's say, the second half against Frankfurt. I think everybody said, what a control, they just keep ball possession. When we were trying to do the same thing in the first half against United, because you cannot go if there were 11 players behind the ball in one pass, yeah, ideally you can, but it's not so simple. And when then Ibu waits a bit longer, waiting for the right option to find, then it's they need to hurry up more. And then he finds Alexander-Isak in between line, and he finds Dom. So that is the difference. What scoreline does to the opinion of people, and what I need to do is showing them every single time what do we do well and what do we do wrong. If we win or lose. So my meetings are similar. Maybe on a small percentage you include certain things if you lose a few more or if you win a few more. But I told them every single time from open play, we are the team that generates the most chances from all the teams we've played. But we've also conceded more than I like. But that also comes from the fact that we every time have to chase the game. Because when we were 3-1 up against Frankfurt, we didn't concede a chance anymore. So these are things I try to tell them, as well as I try to tell them that the main difference between this season and last season is the playing styles we face. So I've looked in when we were a few days off, I've looked at the fact how many long balls we already had to defend. 178 in 7 games. And then United came and we had to defend 59 long balls. That's different than the first half of last season. Not as the second part of last season, but as the first half. The way to unlock it is a moment of magic, which we had in the first half of the season a lot with Mo. Or a set piece, which we had at Frankfurt as well, because that again was a low block. But 2 set pieces unlocked the game for us. So this is what I try to explain to them. And when I tried to explain this in the media, what I tried to do after the game, it was actually more of a compliment for the other manager that he found the right answer to our playing style. But I think, if I'm correct, if you inform me correct, that wasn't how people looked at it.
I suppose more importantly for you, I mean, I know you can get all the information into your players mentally, but I also know there's a lot of emotional plays in there in terms of getting the heart as well. Vinny talked about how Mo might be feeling right now. So how do you get that bit as well as that bit? Or do you need to? Are you happy that that's all sorted with them and it is just now find a way to stop them?
No, these are one of the things that you maybe you have different conversation with your players if you lost 4 times and if you won 4 times. So if you then go into the game into the 5th one, the focus might be on we need to win. Yes, that's definitely what I would like us to do. But there's a way how you win games of football and focus on that. And so you do have conversations about if you won 4 times in a row, other things can be the challenge. That players think, we don't have to run that much anymore because we are so good. So that was last year the challenge. And if you lose a few times, then you need to keep telling them that they are on the right track. If you simply judge them on chances conceded, chances created, but that we are at this moment in the period where if we do one smart detail wrong, we immediately concede a goal. So we have to make sure we do 10 out of 10 times things perfect, where 9 out of 10 times is not enough at this moment of time. Normally 9 out of 10 times is enough to win a game of football. But you can arrive in a period where every time the other team gets his first chance, it's a goal. It happened against United, it happened against Frankfurt. And that some moments are a bit unlucky. Like having a player on the floor and then with 10 men conceding a goal, these kind of things. So then if you are in a period of time like this, you need to aim for 10 out of 10. 9 out of 10 is not enough. So give this 5% more.
Julie?
Hi, Arne. When you talk about then the long ball stats there and how many you've had to face, is it then people have found out how to play Liverpool, or is it better squads? And do you now think, well, we might have to change how we play?
Why I've said for the first time what I said after the United game, because before that I still felt like because people ask me why was it difficult today, then if that is your question I have to answer it why it's difficult, and the answer lies in the tactics of the other manager, which is a compliment to him. But why I didn't do that before, because I was like it's quite obvious that they all do it for a long time now, but I'm not 100% sure if every manager that we're going to face in the upcoming weeks knows this. But at a certain moment, it's so clear. Everybody does it. And even now, I've heard that when we played Frankfurt, there were talks between their staff and Glasner, who worked there, of course, and he explained them their way of playing, which is normal, that these things happen. So yeah, yes, we have to adjust, and that's what we've tried to do. That's also what I've told the players, and I can say this here as well. The last 2 times we faced a 5-4-1 against Palace and against United, we've created more chances than we did every single time we faced a 5-4-1 last season, low block. And the reason for that is that we've tried to adjust a few things in our playing style as well. And against Frankfurt, we again faced a 5-4-1, where I adjusted maybe even more. But that's not to say that was the reason that we created so much, because we created already a lot against United and against Palace as well. But so yeah, we have to find answers to that, and we're not the first team that happens. This happens. City experienced this for so many years, and they are very, very, very good in playing in these tight spaces. And this is something where what we need to do even better than we're already doing.
And Curtis Jones completed 122 passes. I don't know if you know that. Apparently, it's the most by a Liverpool player in a Champions League game since 2003-04 season. I just wondered how much he has come on in the last 12 months and how integral is he to what you want to do?
Yeah, I'm not so surprised that he touched the ball a lot, because I positioned him and Dom a bit lower because we missed out on Ryan. And we faced again a team that was playing in a very low block and didn't press us at all. So yeah, then if you then 3-1 up, you start to pass the ball because, yeah, just waiting for them to come and then find a moment. That's always nicer than when you're 1-0 down and you face that low block, because then you need to take more risks. Curtis, since I'm here, I think his playing time went up. And there's a reason for that, because I like how he progressed. Is progressed the right word? Yeah. But still, with him, and the same questions you can ask about every player, he's in competition with 5 to 6 very good midfielders. And but it's good to see that he played a good game against Frankfurt, definitely.
Carl?
Just to go back to Mo, he's obviously coming under a bit of scrutiny at the moment just because of his current form, but as you said, he is getting the chances. So how do you explain the imbalance between chances he's getting and the return he's getting?
How do I explain that?
Yeah, I mean, it's not like he's not having the chances, he's just probably not, I'm not the look, or he's just probably not a little bit of sharpness.
I don't know if that's sharpness or not. It's so difficult for me to say why this is. I could come up with a few reasons, which I'm not sure if that is the reason, but I think in general in football, players miss chances, and Mo is a human being as well, so we're not used to him missing chances, let alone a few games in a row, but these things can happen. What could have to do with, I have no clue if it does, but I could come up with it's easier maybe to finish a chance if you're 3-1 up than if you're 1-0 down. But maybe that's completely not true for him, but could. But I think the main thing is that Mo has always scored his goal for our club. And the last thing I worry about is Mo starting to score goals again, because that's what he done his whole life. And that's what I expect him to do in the upcoming weeks and months for our club as well.
On that, down that right hand side, there's probably been more changes this season. You have 3 different right backs you played this season, and personnel changes. Do you think that has had any sort of impact on the game he plays?
Could. Not particular, maybe the right fullback. Could, by the way, because he's maybe his whole Liverpool career he played with Trent. Maybe, yeah. So it could. But like you just said, I think he's been in promising positions often enough for him to score goals. But maybe with Trent even more, I don't know. But I think in general, for every player, if you have quite a few changes in your squad during the summer, then everyone needs to find new connections again, and that goes normally like this a little bit, and Mo is not an exception to this because he's also a human being, like all the others. So it might have something to do with that, but yeah, like you've seen now again, that in an ideal world you play every single time with the same team. That's not realistic for a team that plays every 3 days. But even if you would want to, it wasn't possible because Jeremy Frimpong has been in and out with injuries a few times. Conor Bradley has been in and out with injuries. Let alone McAllister, who missed out on pre-season, and Alex. So I think this might be one of the reasons why we haven't been as consistent as we were last season. Sorry.
Hi, Arne. I wanted to ask you about some of the tactics and the kind of changes you made. You mentioned for the Frankfurt game you made a few adaptations. I was just thinking about some of the new players and having them in the building for a little bit while longer now, having some train with them, play with them, understand what some are good at, maybe not so good at. Have you been influenced to maybe try new things based on what you've seen from them, or are you more looking at what your opponents are giving you?
A bit of everything, I would say. But it was maybe the first time also that there was an opportunity to play with Alex and Hugo both, because of Alex missing out for so long, and we thought this was the first time that he was ready to play twice in a row. So that is also an extra reason. But yeah, you always look at the opponent you face, and against Frankfurt, I thought that they might be a bit vulnerable in and around their centre backs when it comes to pure speed, fast. And if there's one thing you can say about Alex and Hugo is that they are fast, especially after seeing the first goal Hugo scored. So yeah, I don't think we've did so many things different. The only thing we maybe changed was, instead of playing with a 9 and 10 behind each other, they were closer to each other with two number 9s. We still had one winger on the left side with Cody Gakpo, and our right winger, Florian Wirtz, who hardly played as a right winger, had more of a free role, but small margins were, I think, different to that. For the rest, I think we've mainly played similar to how we've played last season, with maybe the difference that certain new players bring different characteristics.
Michael?
Can I just ask about keeping Kelleher? It's obviously the first time to come up against him on Saturday. I know you're obviously disappointed to lose him in the summer, but are you pleased that he has actually gone on elsewhere, become a number one for a Premier League club, having been at Liverpool for so long?
Yeah.
Serving for the club?
Yeah, maybe a goalkeeper is an exception, but in general, I don't think it's a healthy situation for a player to be on the bench longer than a year, or miss out on many games in a year and then go into a next season. It's so hard for them to keep giving everything on a daily basis. So that was also one of the reasons why we thought it was best for Gerard Kwanzaa, for Harvey Elliott to find another club. For Queef, like I said, the goalkeeper is a bit of a guess, but he did this for so many years that he felt it was time for him to start playing, and he's shown that he's right, because he does really, really well. But although I haven't worked with him, we're also going to face Jordan Henderson, who, as I've been told, is the only Liverpool captain that lifted every trophy.
6 trophies.
6 trophies. So not every, so 6.
There's ones we win in.
Which
Some competitions we win in.
Okay. So, and I don't know if that's funny, but in Holland they cannot stop about talking how much Ajax is missing Jordan Henderson. So that tells you how important he was for Ajax, and how important he's been for Liverpool, and how important he now is for Brentford.
Well, last one, sorry.
Sorry, Milos Kerkez has started every league game so far. What's given him the edge over Andy Robertson since he arrived, and what do you make of Kerkez' start?
What's giving him the edge over? I don't think that's a place for me to say this over here, because then I have to say something about Robbo as well. The reason why we brought him in, that I can tell you, is that he's bringing a lot of energy to the game, keeps going up and down, and He's very well in defending the 1v1 situations against his wingers as well. So defensively solid and a lot of energy, making the overlaps. For me, he's been a bit unlucky that Cody has used mainly his biggest strengths of coming inside and hitting the target. But we've shown Cody as well that there were a few moments that maybe playing the ball towards Milos would have been a better option. So we again an example of two players playing together that need to find their connection even better than they already do. So yeah, that's why we brought him in, and I think that's better answer to your question than starting to compare him with Robin. Yeah.
Thank you.
Fine.